in a significant shift of his administration's position. U.S. President Donald Trump declared that Ukraine is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. This statement, made on his Truth Social platform shortly after a meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the UN General Assembly, marked a departure from his previous stance, which had often suggested that Kyiv might need to cede territory to end the war. President Trump framed this new assessment on Russia's economic challenges, stating, "Putin and Russia are in big economic trouble, and this is the time for Ukraine to act," and labeling Russia a paper tiger. He emphasized that this victory could be achieved with the financial and military support of Europe and NATO, noting that the U.S. would continue to supply weapons to the alliance for this purpose. The reaction from Kyiv was notably optimistic. President Volodymyr Zelensky praised his productive meeting with President Trump and hailed the U.S. leaders' host as a big shift, a really big shift in position. When asked if this new stance was a game changer for the war, Zelensky responded, "Trump is a game changer by himself." He expressed that the U.S. and Ukrainian teams were closer than at any time before and indicated that President Trump now clearly understands the situation and is well informed about all aspects of the war. This sentiment was echoed by some Ukrainian lawmakers who saw the statement as a pleasant surprise and a source of hope, though they also expressed caution, noting that concrete actions would matter more than rhetoric. The Kremlin, however, swiftly dismissed President Trump's reassessment. Dmitry Peskov, President Vladimir Putin's spokesman, suggested that Trump's comments were made under the influence of the vision put forward by Zelensky and were in absolute contrast with Russia's understanding of the situation. Peskov rejected the characterization of Russia as a paper tiger, retorting that Russia is in no way a tiger. It's more associated with a bear, and there is no such thing as a paper bear. He also denied that Russia was in significant economic trouble, while conceding there were points of tension in some sectors. The Kremlin reaffirmed its commitment to continuing its special military operation until its goals are achieved. Moscow has expressed satisfaction with the absorption of 4 former Ukrainian territories into the Russian Federation. According to President Vladimir Putin, these regions, which include the Donbas republics of Donetsk and Lugansk, alongside Kherson and Zaporizhia, conducted referendums in September 2022, resulting in votes to secede from Ukraine and align with Russia. In a video statement disseminated by the Kremlin, Putin characterized the territories as ancestral Russian land and highlighted that their populations had independently and freely chosen to join Russia. This move underscored a significant shift in the geopolitical landscape, with Russia asserting its perceived historical claims over these areas. President Putin further elaborated on the rationale behind these actions, stating, "We have done what we had to do, and we are proud of it. We offer support to our brothers and sisters in making their firm, responsible choice." This declaration frames Russia's actions as a supportive intervention aimed at assisting populations in exercising self-determination. The referendums and subsequent annexation have been widely contested internationally, particularly by Ukraine and its allies, who view them as illegal and a violation of international law. However, from Moscow's perspective, The integration of these regions represents a fulfillment of a historical imperative and a response to the will of the local populace. This rhetorical shift from the White House occurred alongside other significant development on the world stage. During the same UN gathering, President Trump also commented on recent incursion by Russian aircraft into NATO airspace, stating that he believes NATO countries should shoot down Russian jets that violates their sovereign airspace. This more aggressive posture toward Moscow's provocations was welcomed by allies like Poland, but was met with more caution by NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who stated that any decision to shoot down an aircraft would depend on an analysis of its intent and the threat it poses. Meanwhile, European Union leaders were concurrently building support for an ambitious plan to issue a 100 billion euro reparations loan to Ukraine, using frozen Russian central bank assets as collateral, signaling a continued and evolving financial pressure campaign against Moscow. If you haven't made it this far, congratulations. You have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question. Considering President Putin's firm stance on the annexed Ukrainian regions and President Zelensky's strategic reliance on Donald Trump's game-changer potential, would he approve the Tomahawk missiles as a game-changer? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.